Here, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I've got a little line trimmer here. I've been sitting for quite some time, probably 12 months or more since it's been started to run. A bit of a mess at the moment. But anyway, we're going to show you today what happens when equipment is left for that sort of period. You know, if it hasn't been used for 6 to 12 months. So this is a little trimmer here. It's a little bench shaft. There's no real names or anything on it. Looks like it might be metallic by the looks of that. So we're going to tear it down, have a look at the carb, fuel lines, all those sorts of things, and then we'll see if we can get it going. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the air filter. Come up and get the clip. There we go. Two 8mm nuts here. We'll take these out. That one should just slide off like that. There we go. Now there's our carburetor. I'd say the diaphragms have gone hard for sure in there. Now, another thing happens when they've been sitting for a long time. Your fuel lines, these are hard as a rock, these ones. Got a kink in it there, but that's what happens to your fuel lines. They go hard and brittle. Now, you've got to change all this out, which we're going to do. Firstly, we're going to remove the carburetor. So in order to do that, see, stuck there pretty well. It does move, so that's a good sign there. We've just got to be able to get that out of there now. There's a little plastic clip in there. We'll pop that off. Undo this lock nut here. Thread that out and we'll be able to get the carburetor on that off. Okay, so the little cap's off there. So now, when we pull that around to there, and let that go, should be able to just screw a hole of that with a screwdriver and pop that cable up. And there we go, we have our cable. Now, our fuel lines. They're going to be replaced, so we're just going to cut those off. Just going to nip these off now, for now. So we're going to put new ones in. Just like so. We're still stuck to our backing plate there. And we've got to undo this one. Take a cable right off the carburetor. In there further than what I thought. There we go. There's our carburetor. Little wall bro, by the looks of it, yeah. Just a small one. Looks like, I don't know what that is, was part of the, yeah it is. That is actually your primer bulb. It's sticking out the side here. So that's how long it's been sitting. So we'll take that off there and we'll open that up, give it a good clean out and see what's in there. Okay guys, for you who have not seen the carburetor table, that I use for these. As you see, it's got a flat top, drain holes here, a catch pan under there, so when you're cleaning carburetors and washing them all out, it catches everything. So there's the carburetor. That was the primer bulb by the looks of it. So now we've got 4 screws, so we're going to do those, take them out. This one's gummed up, so I think we're in for a bit of a shock when we open this carburetor up. Okay, moment of truth. See what's going on in there. Okay, so that's the fuel pump side of the carburetor. That's your fuel pump diaphragm. It's not too bad there. That's your metering diaphragm. Now, I don't know whether you can hear that, but that is solid. And that's what happens once you leave star fuel in them, and they've been sitting for a long time. They goes hard and doesn't allow the fuel in. So now we'll take that all off. Yeah, it just tore off. Hard as a rock. Take the gasket off. You're going to have to clean that up. But that's your fuel metering lever there, with your needle there, which regulates the amount of fuel that comes into the carburetor. So what we're going to do a clean up. We'll put another kit in it, which consists of the diaphragm and gaskets. So now I'll just go ahead and clean that up, and then we'll put it back together. Okay guys, so when you're cleaning these bits of the gasket and that off it, make sure you get them pretty good. Even if you just get a standing knife and just scrape a bit of it off, but always get as much as you possibly can off it, especially when they're old like that. Now there's the primer. That's the primer bubble. Look at that. So this thing's been sitting for more than 12 months, that's for sure. And what's caused it is probably the fuel in it's gone off. And it's actually destroyed it and melted that primer bulb. I've never seen one like this. First time I've come across one that's as bad as this. Now this is what your Star ethanol fuels do. So that's why you've got to keep your fuels nice and fresh in your two-stroke engines. And ideally over winter, when you're not using these things, would be to start them up once a month, 6 weeks. Just start them up and let them run for a few seconds or a minute or two, just to keep that fuel flowing. Otherwise it'll settle and go in there and the fuel will go off, and that's what causes a lot of this here. Okay, we'll see how we go with it there. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go through this one here and give it a good clean down. Just some carb clean, brake cleaner, what you've got. Just give it a good spray down. Take some air and just blow it off. Just like so. Now take your spray once again. Now down all these little passages. All these little holes like this, see? They're shooting out there quite well. A bit of stuff there, I'm going to scrape that off a little bit. That's where it was stuck to that backing gasket. So we'll just give another good blow down. All these little... We'll take that one, we'll set that one aside. Now, this one here, in these wall rows and the other Zemmers covers, you've got this little tiny screen in here. So we're going to pop that out. Do not lose them, because they do not come in the kit. So a lot of times, if you just buy, you've got to buy a full repair kit to get these. Now, I don't know where you'll be able to see it, but there's a film that's come over that one. And that's what generally happens when you've got fuels that go off. It creates a film over it, and that's why you'll find a lot of times if you go with your brush cutter, you go to touch the trigger on it, and it'll bog down. Or it'll start, then won't start. That's sometimes the cause of that. So we're going to sit that one aside. Now this one. Tiny screw in here. So we're going to take that out. Or actually better not take it right out, just back it off. Back it off far enough so it's just stays in there. Right, there's the metering lever. That's off. It's actually stuck in there, all gummed up. Don't know whether you'll be able to see that, but that's the little tiny needle in there. So with this one once again, take your car spray, go through all these little places here and there. Make sure that you get them all. Okay, so now we're going to take the air and we're going to blow it all out. Okay, now down in here where our needles in there, there's probably some sticky residue and stuff in there, so we're going to spray a bit of this in there. Bit of carb cleaner in there. Then what you do is take one of these ear cleaners or Q-tips as they call them. You've got to thin it down a bit, so they're a little bit thick at times, so you thin them down enough to get it in there. Put a bit of car spray on it. And then you take that and you push it down in there, just like so. And just work it about. And that'll dissolve what's in there and you can flush it out then. There we go, bit brownish junk in there. I'll just try and get the other end in there, but... So there we go, we've given that a clean out, and that should get rid of some of the residue that was in there. So I'll put a bit more spray down there. Just like that. Now we're going to give it a good... Okay, so now we've done that one. We'll set that aside as well. We'll take this one here. And we'll just clean it up. Still a bit of that sticky stuff. The old rubber. Don't get that out, the nearby won't seal. There we go. So we'll just take the air and we'll blow it. We'll set that one aside. Okay. Alright, so now just rinse that off, the metering lever. Just rinse that off. We'll sit that over there on that one. Our little needle here. Now we know that was sticky, so we're just gonna rub between our fingers and flush it off. Just dry it off there. Okay, so we'll sit that one aside. Okay, so we're just going to need to put a new kit in, so we'll just grab the new kit. Okay, so now we've got our new diaphragm kit here. Now, this is just what they call a diaphragm kit. One's for your fuel pump side, and the one's for your fuel metering side of the carburetor. Now, these are just a diaphragm kit. You can buy what they call the full kit for them, which gives you a new screen, new needles, metering diaphragm lever. So you get all the smaller components with the full kit, but with just a diaphragm kit, you just get the diaphragms. Now, I've gone ahead and found another little screen. The other one's pretty bad. That one there's okay, so we'll put that back in. Now these, as I say, are a lot of the cause of carburetor issues on your line trims and blowers and things like that. But they do not come in the diaphragm kit. You've got to buy the full kit to get these. Okay, so we'll put our little bits in there. Take our screen. Now what I normally like to do when I'm putting these in, I take a drill bit, end of the drill bit, and just push it in like so. Okay, so that's in there. Now we're going to put our needle on that in. This is the tricky part. There's our little needle, so we're going to slip him in there. He goes back into there where he's come out of. Little spring. Little tiny spring. Oh, there he goes back into there where that little recess is just there. Just in there. He'll sit in there like that. Just like so. And now there's your little lever. Now, your little spring's got to sit on that tab there. So you've got to go under, hook on the needle, and get the spring there, all in one go. This is quite fiddly little bit to do, but that gives you an idea how it is. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in now. Alright, we've got that one back in there. He's moving there properly, so that's okay. Now diaphragms. This part of the carvey first, we'll do it. Gasket goes on first. And it's not rocket science with these. You just line that up with that one on the carb. It's got 2 holes down the bottom here for the pins, so you can't go wrong. That one on there like so. There's your top one. So gasket first, then the diaphragm. Okay, once you get to that point, take this one, you just lift back on. Just like so. This one here, we put that one on there. Now, as you can see, it's got the holes there for the pin, so it just goes on like so. Using the right way over. Make sure this hole here lines up with this hole here. Just like so. Now, the diaphragm goes on the top. You get them all lined up. Like so. Now, this one. Now you notice it's got one hole just there. That one hole goes up to the other end here, where we've got our one hole there. Sits on there just like that. Just hold them tight. Now, just got to see around your primer bulb here. Have end plate. And now we take our screws and put our screws back in. Okay, so what I want to do is like tighten them in a cross pattern. So I'll do this one here first. Then this one. Go to the other bottom one. Take that. Don't want to overdo them, just want them nice and firm. Okay, so that's how you do a carburetor clean and a rebuild. Okay, so I'll just clear this out of the road. We'll bring our Weaverson back over and then we can put the car back on. So, okay, so I'll just take the cap off here. All inside the tank. Bit of stuff inside the tank there. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it. We're going to have to flush that out. If you can see in there, I'm not sure. We're going to have to flush that out. So we'll do that now. We'll just flush that out, give that a quick flush before we go on. Okay, so we'll take the fuel lines out. There's that one. Very brittle, very stiff, that one. Got that kink in there. Once I get a kink in it, I like to do these one at a time just so you don't get them mixed up. So what you do, you take your new fuel line, this is the overflow one, so it doesn't need to be that long. Now, I've cut that on an angle. Makes it a lot easier to feed it in. You just push it through till you get about the length you are. You can adjust it after, once you put the car back on there. Now this here's got the fuel filter on it. So what we'll do here, we're going to push that down, like so. I'm just going to cut that off. Put wire here, we'll hook on it. Very handy for this. There we go. That's the old filter. We've got a new one here we're going to put in it. There's our new one compared to the old one. Okay, so that can go in the bin. Now, so for our fuel filter, we want a line that's going to sit on the bottom, or near the bottom. Probably about there somewhere, maybe about halfway. So we're going to cut that off there. Just like so. We're going to do the same thing, we're going to feed it back in there. Sometimes they go in easy, and other times it takes a little bit of playing around to get them in there. So we'll get a good pair of pointing ass pliers. Just like that, pull it down. And pull that out there. Just like so. We cut that off square. Take our filter here, and we'll put that in there. There we go, there's our filter. We'll pop that in there. Okay. So now we're up to the stage where we can start putting our Cowie back on. Firstly, what we're going to do, we're going to put our throttle cover back in. I was hoping to do that, but that's not going to work that way around. Sometimes you can get them. Anyway, we'll slip this one on. There you go. Pull your fuel lines out from out of the back, we don't want them in there. It's just virtually going in reverse to what we took it off. Fiddly a little bit to get it started. Okay. Okay. So the throttle cover's hooked back up. I've just put the fuel lines on. Now you don't want them coming down like that. You need them fairly straight. So just push it in there, keep pushing it until it goes down. That's not going to go any further, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a little bit off the end of it. So we can get this back on here. So there we go, guys. Got our fuel lines in. We've cleaned it and put new diaphragms in the carburetor. That's how you rebuild the carburetor. So now it's just a matter of putting the air filter housing on. So we'll slip them on there. Like that. This one here goes in there. Oh. washer on there. Washer on that one. Okay, we'll tighten it down. Okay, so now we've got it all back together. Got air filter covering that all back on the fuel line side. We've just primed it up. So let's see if it'll fire up. Let's see what happens. So there you go, guys, there you have it. Something that's been dead for years by the looks of it, the carburetor the way it was, especially that primer, how gummed up that was. But there you go, that's how you clean and rebuild a carburetor on something that's been sitting for so long.